Yo, what is up today? We're going to do just a quick tutorial on how to do collisions quite quickly. I have a table here. As you can see, it's a durable model. The first type of collision that we're going to do is basically just use the model itself to make a collision. Now, the easiest way that I find to do it is if when selecting the drawable model, you shift D, make a copy of it, and then right click to put it back to the center. If you've moved it and clicked, you can press Alt G and it'll bring it back to the center. Now this is a copy of the drawable model, but it's not the model that we're making here. We're making the collision, right? So we can call it .col. So now in the viewport, I'm going to hold down V and just convert to composite. You'll see that it's made a whole lot of empties, which are folders. The first one is just a placeholder. The second one is the BBH. This is where all the flags are. In 2.8, they're already checked for just basic geometry. And then you've got your mesh here. Now your mesh has still a physical material on it. A material. We want a physical material. So as you can see here, you can create collision material. Here you can type in anything, but you can see that there's default concrete. So we want wood for this, and this is a solid wood, and it's probably medium size. And these, so when you shoot this one, small chips come off. When you run into it, you know, it sounds denser as the larger you get. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, because this is all wood, I can clear this material here and create a collision material. So that's what I'm going to do. You'll see that it'll turn all one color, and that's good. That means the material is all assigned. There are composite flags, so if you don't want the table to be climbed on, you can tick this one. Not cover is when you press Q, you go into a stance. If you've got like a collision that goes through a wall, you don't want anyone to press Q and then clip into someone that they shouldn't be. So it's another one that's usually used. No cam collision means the camera can go through. Shoot through FX and shoot through for bullets. The shoot through, the bullets just go through the shoot through effects, the bullets and the particle effects. Same with no decal. This is for when you shoot it that you don't want a decal on it. So this is if the collision is like if you've got a round pole and you've got like a square collision around it, you can put no decal on it and it just makes the sound. No particle effects is the little sparks and stuff that go off it. There's also some other cool ones here. Too steep for player. If you put collision on the floor here, it acts like water. You slip on it. No ragdoll. No idea. No keen collision. Obviously we've been through them. So yeah, play around with the flags, the collision material flags. These are different from the collision flags themselves, which are these ones here. Alright, so yeah, once you've got this, you'll probably see that there's a procedural ID. This is for @MA collision, so when you're spawning trash and stuff like that, this isn't needed. This ped density isn't needed. A material index isn't really needed for a basic one like this, and room ID, if it's just a prop that's going to go anywhere, you can keep it at 0. But if you've got a special prop that's going in a special room, you can assign it to a room ID, just so it loads when you're in that room. Cool, so that's the collision material done and replaced. Now we're going to go to the data here and we'll see we've got a color attribute and a UV map on this mesh. We don't need these for the collision, we can just delete them off. Now this table is ready to export. So if I export it to, I've got a complete folder here. I'm just going to do Codewalker XML. And I'm going to export that. You'll see that it exported properly. So as you can see, I've got my exported file here. I'm just going to drag it in and double click. See that there's the table itself. And when we go to options, show collision meshes, you'll see that the collision is there. Now, this was just using the mesh that was on the table. So let's do a more efficient way. So this this way here, what we're going to do, I need to convert this one to a drawable. So I've called this number 2. Now click on the very top hierarchy, the empty there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bound composite inside. Okay, I'm going to double click on this. Oh, actually, I'll copy the name of this. Now I'm going to call this .col, like so. So now what we can do is we can go into edit mode on the table itself, like so. And you'll see that this box here lights up. It says create box from selection, bound box, and then there's a parent with an eyedropper or a drop down. I'm going to click on the eyedropper, and then I'm going to click on this collision base here, the basic collision that we just put on. Alright, so now in edit mode I can, for example, press L and select this leg, and then just create box from selection. And you'll see that it creates a box around that. So if I do the same here, create box from selection, do the same here, and basically go round and create boxes on all of these. I'm clicking on it and I'm pressing L to link because I know that they're all separate. Okay, so now go out of edit mode. You'll see that there's a whole lot of Z fighting going on, but in this collision thing there's a whole lot of bounding boxes now, and these are the boxes that we just made. Alright, so I'm going to click on one of these, go to the materials, and create collision material. Remember, we were going to make this one, we'll make this one climbable. Alright, I'm going to select this one and then shift select all the other ones, and then I'm going to press Alt, Control L and link the materials. So now you'll see that all of these have the wood solid medium material. Alright, so this is basically how to make collisions out of boxes. Alright, which are these are called, like it says here, bound boxes. Alright, these are primitives. So there's no extra geometry, they're just a box. Alright, so this will be important later, but I'll show you that later on. So I'm going to export this one now. This is number 2, obviously. You can see that it exported successfully. And then when we go into here, drag in number 2, there's the table. And when we go to the collisions, you'll see that this is just a box now. So there's a lot less geometry on this collision here as a box than this one here, which was the actual mesh. So you can see that there's a lot more geometry, whereas just here it's just a square edge. This is a bit of performance. Better performance, that's all. Alright, so there we go. We've got this one here. Okay, we're finished with that one. Now let's do a YFT. Okay, I also made a YFT out of this fragment, and I basically broke the model up into a whole lot of pieces, and then I did the same thing that we did before and made collisions for each of these pieces. The only other thing that I did is, with these all selected, you can go to drawables and you can add bone constraint, and you can actually add the bone constraint to all of these in one go, and then parent them to the skeleton bones. But yeah, as you can see, if I go into pose mode here and I select like the leg, you'll see that the leg itself and the collision itself is both joined to the bone. So I'm gonna just export all of this. Okay, so all of these have been exported. They're all got their thing. So I've got a Y type here called collision material, collision tutorial. I'm gonna select all of these and just auto create on the fragment one. I'm gonna make this one dynamic. All right, and the basic table number 2, I'm also going to click on the dynamic flag. This will be important later on, and the one doesn't really matter. So there we go. You can see that these this doesn't have a physical dictionary. That's fine. We'll show you how that works. I'm going to export all of this, and I'm going to put a dynamic flag on all of these here. In the archetype, there doesn't need to be a physics dictionary for the collision. It's implied, but I'm going to put it in there anyway. Let's export this to the complete folder and then open them all up in Codewalker. Okay, so now I'm here. I'm going to open up new project. I'm going to open files. I'm going to open these. I'm going to press this to make a new YMap. This is collision tutorial. Let's YMap, add a new entity. Now we call these basic table 1. Okay, so here's basic table number 1. Alright, I'm going to put a couple of these on the ground. So I've got basic table 1 here. I'm going to make a copy of it here, but I'm going to untick static. Alright, I'm going to shift and drag, and now this one is going to be number 2. This one's going to be static. Once again, do the same thing here. This one's number 2. This one is not static. And then I'm going to go here for table number 3, and once again for table number 3, not static. Click here. We're going to save this into the collision tutorial folder, and then we're going to generate a manifest, and this manifest is the code tutorial. Cool, this should be ready to go. Let's go check it out in game. Okie dokie, here we are in the server. As you can see, we've got our little tables here. If I try and climb over them, I can't, because we put that flag, do not climb. Now, as you can see, when I hit this one, it is pretty static. That's because we put that static flag on it, remember? Alright. We didn't put the flag for not being able to jump on this one, so you can do all that kind of stuff. Alright, so these ones here haven't got the static flags. Now, this one here at the back here has got the mesh collision. It is flagged not static, but It's flag dynamic. So that means if I run into it, it's going to move. But because it has a mesh collision, it's not going to interact with the world collision. So you'll see it is going to fall right through the earth. Oh, there we go. If I no clip, it's it just keeps falling. It just keeps falling. It's gone. Alright, so this one here is, as you can see, it's dynamic and it's got your basic, like your bound collisions. So this one here you can actually like push around, and it's kind of working. This one all falls apart. This is the Fragment. So as you can see, if I get like a grenade or something, and just launch it over, see it all busts into its little components that we made it into, and there we go. So all of these all have their own collision. So when you go away from it, oops, sorry. So when you go away from it and then come back to it, it's obviously client-side synced, so they're all back in their thing. If you want them to be server synced, you'll have to do a server synchronization. But yeah, basically there is collisions. Let's blow them up again with this thing. There we go. That's pretty cool. Anyway, hope that helps with the collisions and have some fun. Might do another tutorial in the future about collision materials and all the fun stuff that you can do with those. But yeah, that's for the moment. That's your basic collision material collision tutorial. Hope that helps, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.